How's Lisha? How are you?
Hi, good and you?
I'm fantastic, thank you.
That's good, that's good.
Chantel, how's it?
I've not
Chantel,
had a chance to catch up on last week's stuff, so we'll play catch up.
yeah, you should have blamed it on me if you'd waited 2 minutes longer because I forgot to upload the stuff. I put it in. I've oh, okay, got it. Thanks, Chantel. I put it into YouTube and I forgot to actually finish it and stick it on the website. So
No,
I'll I'll do,
no, like I
I'll do
said,
them both today.
it's cool. It's the silly season here by us, and it's Black Friday tomorrow, so it's madness.
How many Black Friday sales have you been in charge of?
We manage 72 social media accounts, so you can imagine it's
Jeez.
manic.
I'm surprised you're here.
I said Lisa's on the other side, so she's listening, but she's that side, and I might have to just like work here on the sideline. So I'm listening, but my brain is just on the side.
Oh, geez, shame, man. Yeah, no, it's hectic. I don't know. Maybe you like me. I'm waiting for the 13th. Uh, I want the year to end now.
Yeah, we also very much need it. I'm not gonna lie. The break will be great, and then I can leave, unplug. I just want to unplug, step away from any device, anything that goes ping.
Anything with the screen. When are you guys closing?
Also the 13th.
Yeah. I've always found that over the years I got clients all over the world as well. So it's some people want to close, some don't, and I've always been quite accommodating. But quite a few of my clients have got kids now, so they told me earlier on they're closing the 13th, and I looked and I said, the 13th to the 13th sounds good because Monday the 13th of January. So I said, okay, I'll just tell them this year that's what we're doing. And
Yeah,
everyone's happy with that. It's like, but no one's had a problem. So
yeah, and I think mostly, I mean, people are quite accommodating if they know what's coming. And like with us with social media, we can schedule in advance. So we normally November is not a lack of time of year for us because we have to write content for December and January. So we kind of squash 2.5 months worth of work into 1 month. So
mm,
it's a bit hectic, but then we get a good break. Obviously, I unfortunately don't unplug, so I always will have my phone with me and I just kind of monitor if there's any inbox messages that come and stuff like that. But at least we're not sitting in front of the screen in an office. You know, I can literally lie around the pool and just check once a day quickly before I log off, kind of thing.
yeah. Chantal, what does your world look like? Does it just go on, or does the property sector just die in December?
Um, can you hear me or do you hear the
No,
weedy?
no, we hear you. I was listening for the weed eater. I didn't hear it.
Oh, good, good. That means you can hear me. Okay, good.
Yeah, yeah,
Ask the question again.
yeah. Oh, so, question was, what happens with you in December? You guys close, or you just work through, or
Our
what
office
does
is
your market
closed,
do?
but no, we still work and work and work. Like, no, we work non-stop.
Oh, shame.
This is
We were just saying,
rentals. This is rentals. It doesn't mean because it's holidays, things aren't going to
so
go down.
yeah, no, I know that well. Yeah, same. I've got a lot of stuff to build, so I'm quite excited actually for December. Just not to have to speak to people, just so that you've got an opportunity to do your thing, because that's the only time you ever really grow and build. So I've been watching a lot of stuff recently and coming up with plans, but yeah, to implement them, that's another story. But that's what I'll do in December. So I'm a bit like you. Don't unplug easy. Um, might have to make a bit of a plan though.
And normally, I must be honest, once everyone goes home and the office is here, then I like to kind of work on MD&C stuff. Like I get to do some planning for the company because I don't ever really get a chance to do that because I'm applying it to clients. So you're always last in line. But I say that every year and it never happens.
Uh, maybe this is the year, or you'll be
Maybe I
unplugged.
think 2024 has taught us it's not the year, and 2025 is not going to be the year either. So it will happen, but I've given up giving it a timeline. When it
Yeah,
happens, it'll happen.
yeah. I don't know where everybody is. I haven't heard from anybody
I
today.
know there were quite a few cancels on the WhatsApp group. If I think Jared said he can't make it. Now I've forgotten what her name is. The lady from Santos. I'm
Esther.
hitting a blank. Esther
Esther.
can't make it. Yeah, so Lisa, Esther, and Jared are out.
Okay. Oh, I should still be quite a few in. All right. Will it be a short session then?
You want me to put a WhatsApp up to see if anyone else is coming?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, that'd be good.
Okay, anyone else coming? Should I say, if not, do you want to postpone it? Like just catch up next week then? Or how do you want to do this? I don't know how this works. I'm not in charge, so I'm not. I don't know.
It's an interesting question. I'm thinking about it. So we're not going to get done with all the stuff I wanted to do this year. I was kind of hoping to get everybody.
Why don't we just do it and everybody watches the recording?
Yeah, they can watch the recording. Like
Sorry, my internet broke up. I missed you.
Yeah, Chantal suggested let's just do it. They can watch the recording. That's true. They can watch the recording. If you watch it, you watch it.
Behind. We can't fall
Sure,
behind.
Chick, but there's only 2 of us here. That's like not even half.
Yeah. I think we're probably going to go on in the new year anyway, because we didn't get to everything. So if we just postpone it, it's probably not going to make the biggest difference.
Yeah, out shopping.
Let me do today. Today's not a.
I think there's a lot of Black Fridays that hit today already.
Yeah, today's not a massive session. It's like not a big train smash.
I'm gonna just put my video off because it's buffering quite badly. I can't hear you guys. So
can't we get special training?
I'm sure you can.
Special help.
If you
little tidbits of help that other people wouldn't get right now.
I'm sure you can. If you ask the right questions, you'll get whatever help.
Go through our profiles with us and show us where we need to fix, and we can quickly do that now. We can like.
I think you're doing quite well. But yeah, can do well. Let me run through this because I've got the other group running and it's kind of on the same schedule, and maybe it's just good I stay on the same.
You know what I did was I went into your profile now to see what yours looks like, and I thought, okay, but how do you get so many characters in there? Because I was really struggling.
No, I got as many.
Long.
One thing I will tell you, like I have a personal challenge. It's like if LinkedIn says I can have 2,600 characters, I will use 2,600 characters, not 2,599, 2,600. I use every character available. It's like my personal challenge to LinkedIn. Not that it's hard because you're always having to cut stuff out. But yeah. All right. Well, let's run through this. Let me just make sure. Yeah, there we go. Today's not a massive session. So we'll go through. Let me get through this, and then everyone else can watch. And let's move that out the way. And they can catch it up. Okay, so today about section, finishing up with this section, a little bit of relatability and calls to action. So again, we're running through this really quickly. We've picked our niche, right? At this point, we've created our headline, which solves a big problem. We've then gone and created our banner and our profile pic that again speaks to that problem. We started looking at the about section, so we've created the book and let people know what we do, just so we can get them to click the see more button. Then we created our why story. We expanded on our value proposition to let people know what it's like to work with us. We spoke about building some credibility, which is what we did last week. So we'll check with you guys what you did this week. And then this week, we're just going to put these two together because they're quite simple and straightforward, but important nonetheless. So let's have a quick chat. So Chantal, what did you do for credibility builders? Oh, you're on mute still.
Let me show you.
Okay.
I'll go in. I'll show you.
Cool.
Hold on 1 second for me. Let me just. Oops, there it is. Sorry. Give me a second, you guys.
We got all day.
Yeah, we have all day. Hold on.
Literally.
Just remind me again. So where are we going? Where must I go? Is this the top skills section?
No, this is kind of on the about section of the profile. It's just the credibility. Actually, while I'm thinking of this, let me just give you guys. Let's find it. Okay, I'll do it in a sec. I'll just give you the notes for today. All right.
All right. Can you see?
See, you don't need any more coaching there. That's perfect.
Yeah, but that Lisa did. Look, do you see all of this?
No, Lisa. Yeah, but Lisa built you the pretty, right? All the other stuff still came from
my
you.
makeup and put a dress on.
Well, yes, that too.
Okay, about. So you know my about section, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. You know all about that. You don't have to read through all that again, do you?
Not that bit, no. I want to know.
See more.
So what I was saying is you might actually have covered already just in your story and the way that we've presented. You might have actually already covered the credibility bit.
Okay, so I got here what we offer, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the thing about that we plan viewings at times that are convenient to the seller and the owner and the tenant, blah, 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 yes. And then what I've done is I've put in some messages from clients, or that clients have sent to me. Clearly, I wanted to put in comments from clients, but it wouldn't allow me to put any more characters in. So I just did that. I copied and pasted it from my WhatsApp chats that they sent to me.
All right. You're gonna hate me a bit later because I'm going to show you how to format this, and then I'm going to take some more characters out. So say goodbye to one of those. Well, I don't know if it'll be that.
This year then to make it smaller, less.
Don't stress about it just yet. Let me get through the experience section next week because it's quite pivotal, and you might be surprised in terms of what actually goes in there and how we do it. And we might be able to take some of this and reshuffle it. So we won't necessarily lose it. We'll just put it somewhere else. So don't stress about it.
I didn't know how to put the bullets and all that in. So
yeah, no, it's not obvious. I'll teach you that when we finished with the experience section. So okay, so there you've got a bunch of testimonials already. You know, it'd be really cool. And in terms of this, I don't know if the folks that gave you these testimonials are on LinkedIn. If they.
I mean, this one is like a 70-odd-year-old lady.
Okay.
I mean,
you might be surprised, but probably not. But the point being, whether it's for now or for later, if you can actually put a name to it, right, and somebody can go on LinkedIn and actually find the name and see it, it's actually very, very cool. Then it's kind of like, okay, and it's not just because like technically, okay, I know you, so I know you didn't just go and create some stuff, but you could have. You could go on ChatGPT and said, hey, this is what I do, write me like 5 testimonials, and then just copied and pasted them, right?
I actually wanted to snipper it from my cell phone and paste it, but it wouldn't allow me to, so I had to just copy and paste.
Yeah.
Because snippering it from my phone would have been more, you can see it's actually from something.
Yeah. No, there's no problem with that. I'm just saying if people can follow the actual trail, so they can't go into your WhatsApp chat and see it. Like if somebody had commented on a Facebook group or on LinkedIn, they could see it, you know, which is cool. Something that you might do here, if you're that way inclined, you might not be, and you certainly would want to get permission to do it, is for the people that did this, ask if you can put their name there. Okay. So think about it.
About the characters, I don't have enough characters left over now.
Yeah. Listen, something's going to give. Don't worry about it right now. And if something has to give, something has to give. It is what it is. So don't stress about characters at the moment. We'll work out what the best sequence is after we've done experience.
Because I would
'Cause-
love to be able to put names in that there and
Yeah. So if you could and they don't mind, that's very cool, because when people see names, it's like, oh, okay, you know, these are real people, and it's quite interesting. You're one of the few people, and it's normally a space issue. You've got 4 of them in there. You don't often see that on a profile, just because there's so much other stuff to say. But like if you've got, you know, if you've got one person saying something cool, that's one thing. You've got 4 people, it's like, oh, she must be good.
remember,
It's just
I'm
like
dealing in sales, I'm dealing in
Yeah.
and rental. I'm dealing with homeowners selling their properties. I'm dealing with buyers. I'm dealing with tenants, and I'm dealing with property investment property owners. So it's 4 kinds of clients. That's why I thought I needed. In this one here is a this one here is a property owner. Thank you for your efforts and enthusiasm in I'm getting interested in securing the new tenants, Chantal. Your hard work is greatly appreciated.
So what you might do, right? What you might do, again, space permitting, is you would say Joe Blogs, and then in brackets behind that. And in this case, it might be obvious, right? But investor. And then the next one will be, I don't know, property owner. The next one will be tenant. So people look at it and say, oh, okay. It's like, it's a small thing, but it's a big thing. This is exactly what you're saying. So I like the thinking behind it, where you're saying, well, let me show evidence of everything that I do. That's very good. Well done on that. So what's your first one? Thanks for being driven. You definitely have my loyalty. The property shop has gained a gem. Keep it up. Okay. So again, so that one, yeah, it talks about loyal. Okay, that's about liking you, the enthusiasm. But it's by a word. Okay, that's cool. Thanks so much. Genuine. We're going to. We're definitely going to give the last one. Oh, okay. So very cool. There's a lot going on, so people can see that you're very much a people person. What I like about these testimonials, they back up your story. Remember, you ended that, and it was like they're very nice. So it's all very congruent. So this thing's starting to flow really nicely.
This last one is she's specifically saying that, listen, yeah, I know you would have given this house to everybody if you could. Unfortunately, because this woman actually didn't get the property, she didn't qualify. And that's when I told her, sorry, you didn't qualify for the property. That's what she said.
Same, man. Okay, well, that's cool. All right, that's perfect. So hang in there just for another week, and then we'll get through the experience, because I'll show you some really interesting things there, stuff you might not have thought about. We'll probably move some stuff around, and then if we're a bit short, then we'll edit it together, or we'll ask our best friend ChatGPT. ChatGPT is like really good at this sort of stuff. So if you just ask ChatGPT for something to give you rubbish, but it'll give you stuff that that it's been trained on fundamentally, and it tends to be very marketing, and it's very dry. When you take your own set of circumstances and you put it in and you ask it, it's quite good. So when I'm coaching individually with this, like I spend a whole session with people and I say, okay, tell me your story. So I make them tell me from school. Okay, what do you like at school? And we go through the whole story. And then I ask them 1,000 questions afterwards. Right? And I get them to talk about themselves. And so often we illustrate all the stuff that we're doing in pieces in the story. And you know, I can take 3 or 4 pages of notes because I'm like just typing and they're talking and I'm typing, and that's clearly, it's probably 4 times as long as it should be. Then what we do is we go through the story and we pick out like the key pieces. So, okay, we think this piece substantiates this piece. This shows a bit of your character. There's a testimonial that shows your value system. This shows your experience, etc. All the things we're doing, we sort of pull that out, but it tends to come out in a narrative. Then I like literally copy and paste. So it's almost like bullets and like incomplete sentences and just stuff. And I copy and paste that all onto one page. And you know, again, it'll be probably too long. And then I just go to chat, and then it's just a simple prompt. It's like, hey, you are, and then I describe the person, and then I say, I need to write an about section for LinkedIn profile. Go. here's the info, and you'll be amazed. It's what always amazes me just how intuitive it is and how it's able to join the dots with semi-incomplete information. It's a thing of great beauty. It's unbelievable. You've kind of got it. We're not taking much of your stuff and putting it in chat. The only thing we're going to do is if we need to snip some space somewhere, we're going to ask it, help us with this or change this paragraph. We're not, your stuff doesn't need changing now. It comes from the heart. It's genuine. It's well done. But we'll see. But that's typically how we do it. So either we do the whole thing, or we do bits and pieces. And then once it's done, actually, what I tend to do actually is I do it in I use Perplexity as well and Gemini. So I use 3 of them. 3 is more than enough. I run exactly the same prompt. It's quite interesting to see how different the different models are. And typically we like certain pieces from each one. There'll be one where we like 80%, and then we keep that, and we use that as the base, and then we take the bits and pieces and the snippets, and then we just make our own last little final adjustments, because sometimes there's a little factual inaccuracy, or we just don't like the way they've said it, or something like that. And it comes out quite strong. So if we need to, we'll ask ChatGPT just to do a little tweak, but for you, we're not going through that process. You've done that enough. Your stuff is good. But some of the other people will find that useful. So, all right, cool. Lisa, I'm assuming you've probably got something along those lines.
Yeah, I must say, like I said, I haven't caught up yet since the last time we had a look at it. So, yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, so let me go through today. Today will be quick. I'm going to talk about so this piece, this personal relatability and call to action. So, personal relatability really is all about just introducing yourself. This is not a big hectic section, and if you are stuck for characters, Chantal, then you may have to forgo this. And in fact, if you look at my profile, this was the one section I had to forgo because I just didn't get there. So the key thing with this, right, is if you think about what we said when we were talking about the about section and what we wanted to do, a big part of what we're wanting it to do is just to create that relatability, so that people realize they're dealing with us, we're real people. And so I'm just going to tell them a few things about ourselves. I'll say personal things, not deep, dark secrets, just enough to get them to get a little bit more of a sense of who we are, for them to know that we're real people. And actually, the thing that we're really trying to do, there's 2 things. The first thing is we're trying to get them to find a similarity with us, because you know what it's like. Imagine you'd never met before, right? And we go to a friend's house. We go to Jared's house, right? We don't know Jared. Jared invites us for a braai, and we go to his house, and we're going to watch the All Blacks play the Springboks. Right? So you guys might be there, and I walk in, and I come and I introduce myself. Hey, I'm James. Hey, I'm Chantal. I'm Nisha. And then we start a chat. So how do you know Jared? Oh, he's part of BNI with us. Oh, how do you know? Oh, he's part of my LinkedIn group. Then we start to have a chat, right? That's kind of how it goes. So we actually have 2 things in common at that particular party. The first thing that we have in common is that we know Jared. And the second thing we have in common is that we want to blick some of the All Blacks today. Okay, so we've already got 2 things in common, so we can start a conversation, and conversations start easily. That's what we're trying to do. Is we're trying to give people the opportunity to see where we have these things in common, and we also that's the first thing we're doing, because that helps with the resonance and the sort of the building of the trust and the relationship. But the second thing is you'll see once you start messaging people and you get into conversation, often people want to message you. and like, how do you message someone? So now if they go into your profile and you've got something interesting, they've got something that they can talk to you about. Hey, I see you, I don't know, you have horses. Yeah, we also got some, the most wonderful creatures in the world. Yeah, I was wondering, and now the conversation's on, because horse lovers, and now things are going to happen. So any of these things work, right? Anything where you're just creating that you're like me kind of thing. So any interests that you have, in one of my, actually, let me just show you the example here. It's probably easiest. this is the homework. Here's an example that I might use, right? So I would say, like, I'm a father of 2 teenagers who know everything. So a little bit of humor, but I'm a father. I've got 2 kids, right? So you know lots about me already, who I love performing magic for. So this is a little eclectic, but it's a hobby of mine. So you can see, okay, well, he likes magic. Probably tells you a little bit about me in terms of what I do. And then I say I used to play provincial chess. Oh, so he's a bit of a nerd. Oh, and I'm an avid Manchester United supporter. And if you know anything about Manchester United, you probably feel very sorry for me right now. So all of these things are designed to elicit a little bit of emotion and to say, oh yeah, that's cool. So if you think about this, right, I speak about being a father. So I'm resonating with any parent, whether you have teenagers or not. Okay, if you have teenagers, I'm resonating with you double, right? Because they know everything. Then I talk about, performing magic. So what I will tell you is, of the people, because I actually put this in my connection, in my thanks for connecting message. When I talk to people about this, anybody who's interested in magic, every single one of them ever in the history of me being on LinkedIn, I have had a meeting with. Every single one of them. They're not many, sadly, but the ones that are, just because it's like, geez, you do magic, what do you do? And then we have a chat. Let's chat. Which is cool. So if you're a chess player of any sort, well, then you resonate. And this one is actually the best one. The Manchester United thing. I didn't plan it, but it just worked out this way. So if you don't know, and you look at the history of Manchester United, they're probably the biggest club in the world, arguably anyway, in terms of they've been around the longest, they've had the most success. They were very successful in the early 2000s. They've had a very lean spell for the last 10 years, but still everybody hates them. It's like they did too well for too long, and everyone knows them and they hate them. So when I tell someone I'm a Manchester United fan, I'm going to get one or two responses, right? I'm going to get, oh, shame, you poor person. I resonate with you. I've been supporting those guys, and they really killed me for the last 10 years. And honestly, if you and I had a discussion, we would talk for an hour, and that's all we would talk about. If you're not a Manchester United fan and you support the opposition, you will be more than happy, and I get this regularly, to pull the piss out of me. Shame, eh? But it starts conversations, right? And conversations lead to clients. So that's really what we're trying to do. And you can see a very, very simple example. So interests, hobbies, sports teams, facts about you. I remember I was reading one of my peers in the LinkedIn space, and she was talking about LinkedIn, and she said, "Oh, something you might not know about me. I used to be a spy, like legitimately, and worked for the Secret Service." I was like, "Okay, that's kind of interesting." Like, I'm telling you the story, and I still remember that. Like, how arbitrary is that, right? Because it was just so interesting, and it was relate. One could relate to it, and it just it's a bit of a pattern interrupt. So it's the sort of thing you don't really forget, which is kind of cool. So that's it. Relatability, just something about you, which is quite nice. So obviously you can go ahead, fill in the bits and pieces, anything you can think of, and create a relatability statement if you have space. Sadly, I did not. And then the last
Where
one.
would you put all that in? Still on that same one that we're working on?
Yeah. But you might not have space. You might. Yeah. You see, because you're sitting with 2,600 characters, sometimes you just have to choose. It's kind of sad because it's like killing your children. Because when we write profiles, everything we tend to put on there we think is important, and in many cases it is. In the final analysis, if you look at something and you can't write it in a different way or change, you're gonna have to say to yourself, all right, look, does this piece of information move the sale forward? That's actually your question, right?
I think I should make my story shorter and then add all this stuff in. That's what I feel. The story's too long.
No, the story's good. But I think the story tells people everything they need to know about you. The story is the last thing I mess with. And if you can't fit this in, you can't fit this in. I didn't. You look at my profile, it's the one thing I didn't do because I didn't have space. So I had to sacrifice something. Unfortunately, this was it. So I compensate by putting it in the messages. It's what it is. But as I'm saying, if you're in a situation where you have to cut something and you've done all the obvious editing, then you want to look at it and say, okay, if I took this out, would it change the efficacy of this message? Right? And if the answer is yes, then obviously you leave it in. If the answer is no, then you can take it out, even though your heart says you should keep it in. Sometimes it's not possible. Okay, so that's relatability. Call to action. So this is probably the most important thing. I find with a lot of people, and sometimes us marketers as well, we kind of get this wrong because we forget, right? So anytime you do something where you're putting some sort of marketing into place and you're trying to attract people into your world and you want them to do something, we never do anything just because. Whenever we do something, there's a purpose. Hey, I want you to call me. I want you to jump on my webinar. I want you to come to my event. Okay, whatever that I want you to do thing is. Now, the thing is, if we do not tell them what to do, right, that's on us. And people are not mind readers. Like, we know what we want them to do because like we designed it in our heads, but sometimes we're not so good at telling them. So the first thing to note is you must always tell people what you want them to do, because people are not mind readers. And if you don't tell them, obviously they won't do it. And if they are confused, they won't do it either. Okay. So what is the call to action? What are we going to tell them to do? So as you can see, we want to be very specific to tell them what to do next. And I like to give them a reason in terms of why I want them to do it. That, you know, in marketing, we talk about reason why. I'm a big fan of reason why. Like, you can get people to do amazing stuff by giving them a reason. It's like, do this, your why. If I say do this because, then okay, then it's much easier to buy in, right? We'll show you an example in a minute. So what is the call to action? That's a good question. So for most of us, in fact, probably for all of us, I would suspect, even those that are not with us now, the call to action is probably going to be to book a call. It's like, I want to speak to you. Tell me what your problem is so that I can see if I can solve it for you. Okay. So for most of us, that is what it is going to be. And there's different ways to do that. And we'll talk about that in just a second. It might be where you're just saying, hey, connect with me on LinkedIn. Or you do both of these, right? Because this is a small call. No big deal. It's like, okay, well, how hard is this? It can be a little one-liner somewhere. Hey, I'd love to connect on LinkedIn, or send me a connection request. But fundamentally, the main thing is going to be book a call. It might be something like this. So, Nisha, with you and all your social media guys, I mean, if guys have got other platforms and they're doing some big work there, notably things like YouTube or TikTok or even Insta. Some people build quite strong brands and visibility, and some platforms work better for them than LinkedIn. Right? It just depends on your business. This might be the time to actually send them from LinkedIn actually to the other platform where you know you've got a better chance of selling them. YouTube works quite well. You'll see a lot of the guys run YouTube and LinkedIn. A lot of the big creators, those are two big platforms that they run, and certainly the guys in my space that are making the big bucks, those are the two they'll tell you without question move the needle. And obviously, if you're trying to build an email list, if you want them to download a lead magnet or anything like that, but literally anything you want them to do, you know, buy my stuff, register for my webinar, get on my challenge, get this book, phone me, call me, book on my calendar, whatever it is that you can think of, just let them know, right? So what you want to do is you want to be very specific in your instruction as to what you want them to do, give them a reason to do it, and then let them know how. And so this last one is, I think, is particularly important, and it's letting them know how to contact you. So some people are under the misapprehension. They say, yeah, but I don't need contact information here because it's in the contact section on LinkedIn. So two things to that. Yes, it is, but okay. The way that LinkedIn is structured, unless you go in and specifically change your privacy settings, which most people don't do, if people are not first level connections, which these people are not, right? Because we're trying to convert people into first level connections, they can't find the information, right? So you think it's there, but it's not. And also, if they're on your profile at this point, right? So think about this for a second. They've gone through everything that we've done up until now. They get to the about section, they get sucked in with your hook, they read your value prop, they look at some stuff, they like your story, they're starting to think, you know what, I like this person. When they get to this last piece, there's a couple of potential questions going on in their mind, if there's any real intent, right? So the first question is, Chantal, I like you. What's next? What's the next step? Or, hey, how do I get hold of you? And so we just want to give them this information, because if indeed they're interested in that and they're thinking, yeah, actually, I like someone that's got this sort of empathy. I'm going to rent out my house in December. Yeah, I think I'll reach out to Chantal. Now the question is, well, how do I get you? So based on your call to action, whatever it is you want, give them the ways to get there. So typically you're going to have a phone number or a WhatsApp, right? So that it's quick and easy, because some people like that. And the other great one is a book a call on a calendar. I literally get calls booked on my calendar that I didn't touch, because people book off my LinkedIn profile every single month. Like there's free meetings with people that want to hire me. It's great.
We use
So
Calendly quite nicely, that booking platform. So you
yeah.
can allocate in your diary, and yeah, that's
Yeah.
quite cool.
100%. And if it's on LinkedIn, people can find the link. You can't unfortunately click it, but you can copy and paste it into a browser, which people will do, and then they find you, which is cool. So again, here's just the questions to answer in terms of what we've gone through. And you can see it's quite simple here. So I tell them, and there's a little heading here, what to do now. It's like an instruction. Like it's a call to action, or it's a yeah, it's a call to action. It's an instruction to action. This is what to do now, right? So there's no confusion. And then I say, here's my reason why. So if you're serious about taking control of your lead generation, right, then I'm saying, hey, please book a call for a no obligation chat. Then I'm giving them the options. Okay, well, you can book on my calendar, you can email me, or you can phone me. And again, if I had more space, I'd have probably put a bit more info in here, but characters. So that's as simple as it is, because this is the money piece. Like this is the piece when they've got to the end and now they're interested. They've got to move to the next level. So any questions? And if not, anything you want to chat about, now's your time.
We have time. No, that's good. Thank you. I understand more now. But you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to make the story a little bit shorter so I can fit that information there. I don't like sharing. I don't have a life, so I don't have anything there that I need to share, that I do this and that, because all I do is work. I work and I sleep. That's it.
But people who also
your machine.
do that.
So I will need the personal information there. So you said that people don't just want to see it. Sorry, they only see it on your right.
Yeah. So let me show you what I mean. So let's just get on to let's get up. I'll just open LinkedIn here. So let's just go to LinkedIn, right? I'm just put anything in here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this person, I'm just picking her because she's the first one. You see, she's a second degree connection, right? So if I open her profile and I go to her contact info and I click on it, that's all I get. That's all LinkedIn's giving you, because I send her a connection, or I haven't sent her a connection request, but when we connect, LinkedIn says, oh, okay, you've given permission. So if I use a first level connection, again, I'll just pick the first guy. And sometimes there's an exception, so I hope this is not it. You will see now, LinkedIn at least gives me an email. Now, if this guy had filled out his profile better, I would have had a lot more information. He could have given me websites and all sorts of other things. Phone numbers, he's chosen not to, but at least I get the email, which at a minimum. and that's because he's a first level connection, right? So that's what I'm saying. Is now you get to the about section. Oh, let's just use mine quickly. So now you use the about section. So typically this is what happens, right? Somebody gets to your profile. First thing they'll see is your banner. They'll have a look at your. So the banner will draw them in, and then they'll get the message. So remember, we're trying to orientate them and say, okay, you're in the right place. Then they'll have a quick look at your photo. They look at the name, which maybe doesn't mean a whole lot right now, but they look at it anyway, and then this becomes the star of the show. If they're interested, now they're on the scroll, right? So obviously analytics, because I'm looking at my own profile, they won't see this. Then typically they'll get into the about section again. If they're hooked in, they'll read through it. And as I say, so now they get to the bottom. This is typically where they get the chance to make that first decision. Sometimes they might have scrolled first, looked at services, features and stuff, activity, and then gone back up, or now come down to experience. But that's typically the way they go. And so when you're sort of at the end of the piece, if there's intent, like don't make them hunt, just let them have it right there. I can't tell you how many people I get that use this link to book. I get literally, I won't say every week, but definitely every month. And some weeks I'll get 3 or 4 people. It's insane.
Okay, so I at least have my contact details on my cover page, so everyone will see it, my email and my mobile number. Do you think it's really necessary to add that in there too?
Um, sorry.
EL? What are you looking for me?
Yeah.
The property shop.
Ugh, what am I doing? We don't need him.
Is it under the property shop or is it under Chantal Morris? Look under Chantal Morris. It might be under Chantal Morris. Chantal Morris, M-O-R-R-I. There
It,
we
it
go.
is. Yeah. I'm just looking
There.
at it just for. I know I can see it.
Oh.
Okay. No, that's fine.
Oh, shoot. Okay, so you can see there.
So yeah, it's small though. But like if they hear. Like if they've got into this and you suck them in and they kind of like this and they're thinking, yeah, like let them just pick up the phone. Now it's like I know this is a small thing, but you now want them to go up here. Now they must work. You're making them work. Not cool, right? Now they've got to come up here. Yeah, they can, at least you've got it, right? A lot of people don't, as you saw from a previous guy. You've got all the info. But like, why make them do that when you could just put it here? I'm here. I want to phone. Thanks. Done.
Oh,
Or
we
here's,
put it right now.
send
Right
send send an
now.
email.
Put it there.
Yeah. Call to action is always good. Hey, if you need help with, let's chat, kind of thing. Yeah. And then we'll get into this. This is underutilized at the moment. I'll show you. You can do amazing stuff here, actually, a lot more than you think. And we'll do that next week. And then the picture will be complete. And when the picture is complete, then it makes a whole lot of sense. And then we'll format and we'll chop and we'll change and we'll do everything we need. And we'll get everybody's profiles, up to spec. And then we'll move on to messaging and start getting you some clients.
Okay.
Just kind of cool.
Ha, there we go.
So that's what I meant with contact info. Sometimes it's like it's small things, but the small things definitely add up. It's like, what's that?
For the messaging that you mentioned now, you're obviously it's not the sales navigation version, the paid one.
No, it's LinkedIn. For people that don't have, I mean, obviously you can grab a free trial. For some of us, that would be quite useful. But we'll talk about that when we get there. It'll probably only really be in the new year. We'll worry about it. If I can just get everybody to the point where we can hit the new year running. And the messaging it's not rocket science. We teach you some principles and everybody can get on with it and just start doing it. Start building leads. And then what I want to do is we'll work it out in the new year. I want to find a way to to try to bring more members into your chapter, because you guys can really drive that. So you can do both. Like you drive your own thing, but you're also focusing on bringing other people in. So you can do like a dual thing, which is kind of cool.
So is there 2 more lessons left before we shut down for the year, or how did you?
I think so. Is the short answer. Ideally, we would have started earlier. Yeah, I'm going to close on the 13th. So let's say 2. It would have been open for discussion today, but it's just us. But yeah, it makes sense. To be fair, Mel did say to me, like, when right up front when we were trying to get it all set, we were trying to get it in, and she did say, look, early December is when people got kids. Be cognizant. So we sort of plan for it to end next week anyway.
I must be honest, the 12th might be a problem for us because it's literally the day before we shut down. So it's going to be crazy my side. But I mean, we can always just watch the replay if we have to.
Yeah. Yeah, the 12th probably going to be, might be by myself on the 12th. I don't know. But Chantal will be here.
Sorry, I'll be here. Let me see how
Okay. It'll be you and me.
December
Unless you have a rental problem.
10th with BNI. No, I'll be here. I'm putting you in my diary. There we go.
There we go. I'm in. I made it.
There we
I snuck in.
Perfect. I'm going to log off if that's okay, so I can wrap up
Cool.
this side. Are you sharing the slide deck on here? Or
Oh,
must I
yes.
wait?
Oh, yeah, thanks. I almost
Well
forgot.
done.
Well done. Well done.
Any chance you could give me the last one?
There's every chance I can give you the last one.
Hey, James.
So here's this one. Let me grab the last one. There you go. Just let me know that you've downloaded it, otherwise you'll lose it in the chat.
I've got them both.
Cool.
Download them. Download.
You only need the first one, Chantal. You got the second one last week.
I didn't get the one last week.
Oh, okay.
No, for
Not
some
just
reason
me.
I didn't. For
Alright.
some reason I didn't.
Then you get them both.
Thank you. I don't ever see the videos either. I don't know where to find the videos of our.
I can never remember what the. Hang
I
on.
don't even worry about it because I listen while we're here and then
Yeah, I was to say you don't seem to need the videos.
today I
I'll
snooped on your profile, so
that's all good.
and I thought there's no ways I can do that.
Yeah, here it is. Bing, 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 bing. Just make sure that this works. Before, yeah. Okay, I will put the. Here's the link. I need to
I don't
put
even know how to save this thing.
just click it, and it'll open in a new tab, and then you put it in your favorites. It'll open in
My
online.
favorite. Send it to Jared so you can at least watch it.
So yeah. So
Yeah,
after this, I'll download this session. Yeah.
Chantal, do you have WhatsApp installed on your computer?
Yes.
Then you can WhatsApp the link to yourself. Like, you can send yourself messages on WhatsApp. You just type
I
in the
know
search
that.
bar. So then
I know
send
that.
it to yourself on WhatsApp, and you can keep it on your phone for whenever you want to watch it.
You know, I know that, but I don't need to watch the videos because I watch it now with you when on live.
No, but I'm
now.
just saying, earlier you said you don't know how to find it. So if you
Oh,
save
no.
that link, it always updates. So if ever you miss one, it'll be on that link.
Okay, no, it's fine because when I clicked on it the last time, it just kept on opening the link. It didn't want to give me the option to save. I thought, oh, bugger that. But I usually copy and paste while James is talking. I copy and paste, and then I send it to Jared because then I know it's saved to Jared and myself at the same time. So I'm just
Yeah, my brother says to me, talks to himself. He's got a WhatsApp group. Who's in it? No, just me. Me and my mother. I just send stuff to myself. Yeah. You think WhatsApp would have worked that out by now? That you. No. Anyway.
Thank you so much, James.
All right, folks. We will see you
Thank
same
you.
time, same place next week. All right.
Bye,
Thanks.
guys.
Cheers. Bye bye.
Hey, wait a second. How was your function last week?
Fantastic.
Kevin,
Yeah, it was so nice. Yeah, it was just it was. You know, it's if I had to guess, I would say there's five directors, and I would say they range probably from about 28 to 35, 38, give or take. So it was their 10-year anniversary.
Okay.
They've grown to 50 people, and so obviously they work a lot of speeches. But just listening to the guys speak, it was the most amazing journey and the most amazing story. And what was so interesting was how everybody in that whole company that was there, and I met quite a few of the people that they all had the same ethos and they sang from the same hymn sheet. It was just like a really good, solid sort of family feel. It was, yeah, it was awesome. I don't know how to explain it to you. I'm not doing it justice, but it was such a joy and a pleasure just to be there. I actually felt honored that I got invited into that like special space. You know, it
Oh, that's brilliant.
felt like that. Yeah, it was
Hope you
fantastic.
enjoyed it, eh?
Yeah,
Very
no, it was great.
fun.
It was. It was
Okay.
a lot of fun. So yeah, thanks for asking. That's cool.
Okay. You must have a good week. See you
You
again.
too? Yep. We'll see you same time, same place next week.
Okay then.
All
Bye.
right. Cheers. Bye.